All right, so let's jump into a little Brian Baldinger, Baldy on Twitter, talking some Packers. Anytime Baldy talks, I shut my mouth. All right, this is what he tweeted out. Packers Malik Willis sent a loud and clear message to the Titans. I can do this at a very high level. 2 weeks in a row. Much credit to Matt LaFleur and staff. Built an offense around Malik's skill set in just a few weeks. You know what great coaches do. Hashtag Go Pack Go. So here's Baldy breaking down a little Malik Willis tape.
From the very first play of the game, Malik Willis sent a message to everybody in Tennessee that maybe you shouldn't have gotten rid of him. Maybe he should have been the guy right here. They hit Jaden Reed on the shallow cross on the game's first play. Nice call right there by Matt LaFleur. They clear out that side. He goes for 30. They weren't done yet. Watch the three receiver side right here. In the middle is Christian Watson. He's going to run the spray fade against McCreary. A good corner, good coverage. But the throw beats the corner, beats the coverage, and drops it right to Christian Watson. Good job going up for it. Like, it was remarkable what this offense looks like with Malik Willis. They don't run these type of plays with Jordan Love, but you watch this right here. Like, this kind of a scramble. Like, he doesn't like the three receiver side. Here they come. Like, watch him get out of the way right there. He's always looking to throw first, but once he tucked it in his left arm away from the defense, picks up 20. And then you watch this. Here comes
a pistol.
Tucker Kraft is going to be the lead blocker. To Tennessee right there, who has the ball? Like, they're not sure. They're frozen. Everybody's frozen. Nice job of just hiding it and then pulling it. Picking up a lead blocker from Kraft right here.
Hey, Tucker.
Of Romeo Dobbs, and he goes 29 yards, sets up a touchdown. And then you get this. 90 seconds to go in the half. 90 seconds to go in the half. On 3rd and 18, they're not punting. They're not playing field position. They're attacking with Christian Watson stair-stepping across the defense. And the throw is a dime, an absolute dime in front of the corner. And they get themselves 37 yards down the field and in scoring position. And then there's just good ball handling. Like, all the things you got to do to be a good play-action quarterback. You watch it right here. All right, Bo Melton, here we go. Now, play action right here, all right? Freeze everybody. Now, what you do with this, screen away. Sell the screen. Get them to come after you. Nice job setting it up. Good lead blockers out there. And Emmanuel Wilson goes 30 yards for a touchdown. Of course, it all started on the opening drive of the game right here. You watch it now. Excellent blocking on the outside. A mesh point. Here comes Tucker Kraft. Good block on the edge. But this is all Malik Willis. Like, just running right through the defenders in Tennessee for the opening score of the game. And you can see Tucker Kraft, the guys, they love him. They're excited for him. He's doing a fantastic job. 2 great games in a row for Malik Willis.
He not only rambled, but he rumbled and stumbled.
He kind of talked about Tucker Kraft there. Let's hit this other one real quick, and I want to get your all's take on everything there. I know, Emilio, you actually got a shot of that read option from the stands, which was really cool. But you've seen Tucker Kraft on one of those blocks. Everybody is talking about Tucker Kraft right now. Mark Chimura is talking about Tucker Kraft. Mark Tauscher is talking about Tucker Kraft. Everybody is recognizing. Brian Bulaga was bragging on him. They're recognizing Tucker Kraft. The PFF grade kind of low, but when you hear former pros who are watching the tape going, Tucker Kraft is getting it on run blocking, it's really exciting. Here's what Baldy had to say about that.
Obviously, Malik Willis is the story for the Packers right now. But these 2 tight ends are just as well. Like, Tucker Kraft is their move tight end. Like, he's going in motion.
With a bum shoulder, by the way.
In some kind of motion on almost every single play. Resetting. They love their 2 tight end sets. And on this read option right here, to Josh Jacobs, Tucker Kraft becomes the lead blocker for Malik Willis. And he's just looking to hunt up down here. He's the lead blocker. So he finds his safety right here, and he just rolls him. Rolls him right there, and Malik Willis goes inside the 5. Now, here he is, where he's just kind of blocking and a delayed screen right here. And he just gets out into the flat. Malik flips it to him, and then he makes somebody miss, and now he's off down the sideline.
Let's go.
For a nice gain, right? And then you go, like I said, move tight end. They do a lot of different things. All right, this is going to look to Tennessee like it's going to be a counter tray. They're going to pull Jenkins. They're going to start Kraft in motion right here. Like, he's going to be the trailer on this play, except he reverses. The 49ers love this play as they flip it to Jenkins. And now his job is to take care of the force, which is LJ Snead.
Big Paul.
And he just throws L'Jarius down to the ground. Like, he's the lead blocker. They move him around. He's a receiver. Like, just a really good part to this offense.
Oh, boys, we got us a tight end, fellas.
Dude, and I'm pretty sure if I remember right, Snead was like getting after Tucker earlier before that play happened. They were like jawing at each other after a play sort of thing, and he wasn't having it. And I think that was him just taking a little retaliation on him and, showing him who's boss, right?
Oh, I love it, man. Anytime you see Tuck Norris out there in space against a DB, even a linebacker, especially a corner, I mean, you got to think those guys are like
every time.
Yeah, but no, his ability to move is key for this offense. I do think that we need to keep that in mind. We got to make sure that he stays healthy and keeps grinding, because that if that shoulder turns into something, what are we going to go to 10 personnel or have Musgrave in there? So I think that Matt's offense is just like everybody else here, we work around the players we got, but I like Tucker in the lineup, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see here. Let's go.
Can I mention something, Clayton?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I mention something real quick? Yeah. Something that I just have noticed, I feel like it's changed, or maybe I'm just paying more attention, is just sometimes I think with the pre-snap motion, I just see players that just jog to get in their space, or they don't really seem to like really be selling it. It's just, I don't even know how to describe it, but I was just seeing the Packers and just the way they really they just do everything. It seems like all out, just real the speed things, like they really are putting speed into it rather than, I just have to move from point A to point B during, in the pre-snap. It's like, I'm going to get there and then we're ready to go.
Absolutely. And, Matt LaFleur talked about that very thing today, Carly. He's talking about how important it is for the quarterback, the center, and the motion man to all be in sync. Like, they've got to be in the exact right spot at the exact right time. And I see the same thing. There's no hesitation. Everybody's keyed in on their assignment. They're just well coached right now, man. There's no two ways about it. Malik's well coached by Tom Clements and Sean Mannion. Matt LaFleur's got the scheme humming. It's awesome to see, man. You know that Josh Jacobs is leading by example in the running back room. We got the most selfless wide receiver room in the entire league. Tucker Kraft is always vocal about how he loves his teammates and how he's willing to do the dirty work. It's just, I'm telling you, something special is happening in Green Bay. So,
what did Baldinger mean by saying that Matt LaFleur didn't do these sort of plays for Love?
Talking about like the read option and that quarterback power play. That's not a play you'll call for. Did you see the play where it was kind of a zone read, and Tucker Kraft was the lead blocker?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Malik Willis might be the fastest quarterback in the league. He's that quick. Like if I remember correctly, he did not run the 40 at the combine, but they said when he played at Liberty, he was the fastest player on the team. So keep that in mind. He was faster than the corners, the receivers, everyone. Okay. So what he's talking about, you're not going to draw up those same plays. Someone mentioned it in the comments, and look, I'm not going to BS y'all. It's a little bit of a concern for me. They're like, okay, what happens when we lose these explosives that Malik's given us? I'm not so concerned about the design quarterback runs as I am the one read, two read, get out of the pocket and go and turn it into a huge positive play. Jordan can do that to a certain extent, but not like Malik did. So you're going to lose that aspect. Now, what are you going to gain? You're going to gain that mid to deep passing game and be able to open up the playbook for Love to really stretch the field vertically. And we haven't seen a heavy dose of what that looks like with Josh Jacobs in the backfield. So I think it's give and take, but I don't know, man. It's just the thing that really sticks out with me with Malik that I just can't get over is his accuracy. His accuracy has been so good. Amelia, I don't know if you have access to it and the stats you were looking at. I would love to know what his adjusted completion percentage is or whatever, his accuracy.
Yeah.
But if you've got something just to depict that, because that's been the big thing for me, man, was like he missed one throw on the opening drive. It was a crosser to Tay Wicks. I've seen that one. And I got a little nervous, like, okay, he's coming back down to earth. Then the rest of the game, it was just all game long, right on the dot, right on the spot.
You said, I'm sorry, what were you looking for?
Just something accurate, some kind of accuracy statistic for, how they got like adjusted completion percentage or on target throws, that type of thing for quarterbacks. I don't know if you have any of that with next gen stats or not, but
and while he's looking for that, it's just been like I am just shocked and in awe of how this backup quarterback is not playing like a backup quarterback, right? Like he's protecting the ball. He's not making stupid mistakes. Like we really have a backup that can help us get to the Super Bowl, which is just like kudos to all the scouting team and everybody who just like, traded for him. And everybody's like, well, why aren't they going out and getting a vet, getting somebody who can really play? They have these aspirations, but man, they knew what they were doing.
Thank God they didn't pick up the phone and call Ryan Tannehill's agent.
Could you imagine, Tim? Could you imagine?
And like you said, Clayton, I think the fact that Malik's, blowing us away with his accuracy, especially his accuracy, stepping up in the pocket or rolling left or right or throwing on the run, so to speak, is incredible. That third down dart he threw to Scoot was absolutely a frozen rope. Barely had his legs underneath him. He was looking off a safety while he was throwing the ball to the opposite side of the field. I mean, this is what Carly's talking about. Like, that doesn't look like backup quarterback type of play. That looks like starting caliber type of play. But, I think, when you talk about what Baldy was talking about, maybe LaFleur calling a little bit of a different game with Malik Willis under center. I think the glaringly obvious thing, at least to me, from my perspective, is, and this is not a knock on Jordan, but Malik is more mobile than Jordan Love. Jordan Love will break out of that pocket and tuck it and run and extend the play and get us a first down, of course. But that's not what his bread and butter is. You don't want to see him scampering down the field all the time. Malik Willis, think Jalen Hurts, think Lamar Jackson, think these quarterbacks that are willing to
think Mike Vick.
Yeah, Michael Vick, exactly. Donovan McNabb was brought up as a comparison. Malik Willis is just as equal of a threat to take off and run on you as he is to sit there in the pocket, extend the play, and pick you apart. And again, not to say that Jordan Love doesn't offer those same things, but I think when you're game planning with Jay Money under center, I think you're thinking more shot plays. You're thinking of get your reads in. Can we do RPRs, RPOs, and then set up, long shots? I think with Malik, it's more of, when you got Malik Willis back there, it's more of an approach of, pick your battles. We're not going to throw the haymakers. We're going to jab, 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 and then we'll go for that, that knockout punch when we can. But I think that's the biggest thing that surprised me is, you're right, Clayton. His accuracy is uncanny. Changing the angles, the arm angles, the release points. We've seen him release from, up top. We've seen him release down at the shoulder level. We've seen him half sidearm, adjust the arm angle. We've seen him throw off his front foot, throw off his back foot. It's incredible. He does. He looks like a starter. And honestly, since he got here to Green Bay, that's basically what we've asked him to do.
Right.
He got here and it's like, hey, by the way, you're the guy now. So you got to give him a lot of credit. Obviously, Coach Clements, Matt LaFleur, Tupac LaFleur, of course, the quarterback whisperer himself. No kidding, this guy is doing well in this system. And I also think it's a testament to Malik Willis and his prep and how seriously he studied film and, dove into this system to get up to speed. And here we are, 2-0 with him at the helm. You got to love it.
Tim, do you think Jordan Love really can't do those things? Like he really isn't as mobile, or just that he isn't asked to by the plays that we're offering?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he can. I think if you ask Jordan Love to tuck it and run, he'd be able to answer that call, but I just don't think it favors his game. I look at him more of like, closer to Aaron Rodgers than he is to Michael Vick. He's pre-snap reads, post-snap reads, able to dissect, able to use deception to get that defense to do what you want it to do. I think that favors Jordan's game. Not to say that he's a pure pocket passer, because I do believe Jordan is a mobile quarterback when he needs to be. I just think Malik Willis is more of that threat where, we could do direct snap and just let him run the ball like you see them do with Lamar in Baltimore all the time.
Yeah, Prince in the chat said, I saw Willis ran a 4.440. To put that into perspective, guys, that's Randall Cobb and Jaden Reed's speed. That's what that is at the quarterback position. And again, Jordan scrambles to create secondary throwing windows, and Malik Willis scrambles to run a football. There's
Right.
definitely two different things. Go ahead.
Yeah, because on that one where he went down the left sideline there, he did have, I think it was Christian Watson open late on a dig in the second window there, or when he rolled out. But I mean, are we going to ask him to throw that ball or run the? I mean, if he's comfortable running the ball, get 29 yards running it. You know what I mean? We don't. If you don't feel comfortable putting it in that window right now, that's fine. Play it safe, keep the ball, keep moving forward, and that's why we were +3, which also helped us last week.
Yep, definitely. Coach Lynn says Willis needs a red zone package moving forward. He's too talented to stay on the sideline. I completely agree, Coach. Completely agree. Jen Wright says 2-point plays as well. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Let's run one of those read options on a 2-point conversion. Get them all crashed and watch Malik just walk right into the end zone.
And you know what that would do is if we do end up using that, and then they get kind of lulled to sleep as, hey, if we're going to be running a read option, it's going to be Malik coming in week 19 or something. We need 1 first down. Jordan Love runs the read option. They're just not sitting on it. They're banking on him giving it 95% of the time.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
That's so true. Like, I think Jordan Love can run all these same plays that we're calling for Malik. It's just like, do you really want to do that?
Right.
In a game plan going forward.
Definitely. Sunday Night Football on NBC tweeted out the Vikings move into the top 5 of Pro Football Talk's NFC Power Rankings. So these are the National Football Conference Power Rankings. Number 1, Detroit Lions. Number 2, Philadelphia Eagles. Number 3, Green Bay Packers. Number 4, Minnesota Vikings. How cool is it? I heard somebody say today, I think it was Michael Lombardi, said the NFC North, hands down, is the best division in football.
Yep.
That's wild to think about, man. Just how things change. Now, when you look at the NFC standings, Green Bay is currently sitting in the number 8 spot, right? So that would put us in the playoffs as the final seed there, sitting at 2-1. Obviously, it's way, way too early to even be talking about playoffs, but we're going to mention the standings as we go along. I do want you guys to notice who's in the number 16 spot there. If you get a second, just take it.
Playoffs?
Chicago Bears are in dead last, 16th spot.
Can you go back to the power rankings real quick?
Yeah, man.
I'll tell you the biggest surprises to me right here, like this far into the season, clearly the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington football team.
Yeah.
Commanders whatever the hell they're called now.
They don't even know, man.
Yeah,
their fans are actually petitioning to get them called the Redskins again. It's just hilarious. Everybody's
you talked to us a month and a half, 2 months ago. Nobody saw those two coming.
No.
Nobody saw Washington here, and certainly none of us thought the Vikings would be sitting in the top 5, going into week 4 like this. So, yeah. I mean, kind of out of the blue, but hey, it isn't how you start, it's how you finish, right? There's a lot of football left. We'll see, but I think there's truth to that statement that, the NFC North is definitely one of the hottest divisions right now in football.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. If you guys and gals would take a quick second, hit that like button for us here on YouTube. It help boost the algorithm, help other Packer fans find the channel and find this content. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. For those of you on X and on Rumble, appreciate y'all as well. So the Packers were back in practice today, obviously. Rob Demovsky had tweeted this out. Got a little bit of practice footage from earlier. If I can put it on mute. There we go. So J-Love's back. Obviously, the arm looks live. Everything looking good there. I don't see any limp at all. He's still wearing the sleeves, of course. Still has the small brace and all that good stuff, right? So, obviously, they're going to continue to monitor him as the week goes along. And then, of course, you had him here with the high step. And look at Lambeau in the background. Just majestic AF right there, man.
If you look real closely in the background, you can see me jumping over that fence trying to peek in there.
I totally see you.
You see Tim rappelling down the side of Lambeau. What a beautiful day in Green Bay, though. But yes,
I was trying to tell everybody that I was Wes Hakowitz, but nobody believed me. They wouldn't let me in.
They said you're not that handsome, buddy. Let me tell you. So we got the injury report out, right? Here we go. Jair Alexander. It was a bit of a long one here, but everyone is limited other than Jordan Morgan, who did not participate. Okay, he's got the shoulder injury. My guess is he probably won't play Sunday. So everybody on the injury list limited. Jair Alexander with a quadricep, Kenny Clark with the toe, Elton Jenkins with the veteran rest day, Tucker Kraft with the shoulder, Jordan Love with the knee, Luke Musgrave quadricep, Josh Myers with the shoulder, Jaden Reed with the calf/quadricep, Zach Tom with the quadricep, and then Carrington Valentine with the ankle. The good thing here is it's Wednesday. When you've got a limited status on Wednesday, there's a really good chance you're going to play on Sunday unless you have a setback. So I think every one of these guys, barring a setback, will be playing Sunday. That may include Jordan Love. I don't know. Let's go around the horn with it here once before we get into the Vikings side of the injury report. Tim, let's start with you. Do you think J Love plays, man? Yes or no?
Hell freaking yes. This game is too important. This, for all intents and purposes, is a playoff game. I mean, we've got to win this game to get right in the division, be in a position where we're in a 2 or 3 way tie for first place in our division. All these games have playoff implications. You got to win at home. This is a huge game. And I guess I would feel a little bit more confident if we look tomorrow or Friday and we see Jordan go from, limited to full participation. That'll be our first kind of indicator that he's probably going to go. But they may be playing this close to the chest too. But I agree with that statement, Clayton. I think everybody on this list is probably going to be good to go unless you have a setback. Jordan Morgan being the one we keep an eye on. If he's still not participating as the week progresses, he probably won't go. But I think there's a good chance all these other guys on this list are going to play against the Vikings. And hopefully Jay Money is back under center.
Close to the chest is the truth, Tim. I don't think Matt's going to let it slip. I think they're going to run it up to the clock again. And like you said, hopefully he does go full, but I could see it being limited all week. I think this was one of the games I picked to lose when we first did our preseason sort of decisions, just because it's a divisional game. I never thought the Vikings were going to be 3-0. But you're right, it's a 2-game swing. If we lose that, it's a loss in the division in the North, and a Vikings go to 4-0, we go to 2-2. So it really is a put up, shut up kind of game. I think everybody knows that. Everybody's ready for it. To be home again is going to be nice, and I think that we need Love to play. I just hope that he's feeling 100%. And just let it rip.
You're right, man, because we're ready for playoff football at Lambeau Field this year. And, dropping a game like this at home, divisional, that could be the difference between being a wild card team or, getting home field or a first round bye, whatever. You could be looking back at this week 4 matchup and wishing you got that dub. So I'm with you, Emilio. I hope they protect home.
Yeah. Carly, what do you think? You think Jordan's playing?
Part of me wishes or thinks that is afraid of him coming back too early, just with soft tissue injuries and just knowing how much, and with as good as Malik has been playing, it's like, why rush it? But I do, coming back home now after these, I think it's important. But something that gives me confidence or makes me feel better is that I believe it wasn't Matt LaFleur in California, was it, when RG3 played and came back too early from an injury and it really kind of messed up his career? And I was reading about that. And so I have faith that if he's back, it's going to be because he really is ready. They're not going to make a stupid decision with this quarterback that they are spending, however many millions of dollars, $250 million on. This is the long game, I think, with him. And so I want them to take their time. And if he's 100%, let's go.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah, that's me. It's again, I said if we lost to the Colts, it's like, hey, you got to get Jordan out there against the Titans. You win against the Colts, it's okay. We can wait another week. Let's get him healthy. You win against the Titans. If it was anybody other than a divisional opponent, I would be like, listen, wait until he's 100% ready. Now, I wasn't going to talk about this. I'm going to briefly mention it. I don't want it to turn into a conversation piece. But Jason Wilde mentioned on his show that he feels like there's something else going on behind the scenes, because long story short, he's insinuating that Jordan Love's representation is the reason he's not playing. Not like that his agent is suggesting to Jordan, don't play, and the doctors have cleared him. So I'll leave it there. That bothers me a little bit, because it's like, if that is true and the agent has that much say over the doctors say with the team, that kind of, I can't BS you. It bothers me a little bit. If that's the case, That might have been why we got pissed off Matt LaFleur last week. And that might have been why we got pissed off Matt LaFleur on Sunday. And he went out there and said, all right, we'll do it without it,
Yeah.
Again, I don't think Jordan's going, I don't want to play until I'm 100% healthy. But I think his representation probably is. And again, Jordan tells those guys what to do too. So he can put his foot down and say, hey, I'm playing. It's all speculation. It was like Wildy was hesitant to come out and say that. But I think Mark Tauscher made it pretty obvious that's what Wildy was trying to say. So there was 3 or 4 comments that were made last week that would lead you to believe that. And when he walked back through those comments, it made sense to me too. Like I kind of see where he's coming from. So that might explain why. Look at you over this. There you go. You got it. You're on the right page. He said, Dr. David Mulugeta, MD. Absolutely hilarious, man.
Yeah, I would think the agents, he got J Money paid. Got the deal done. I would think that's your work is over with now until we get back to the renegotiation table or restructure or whatever's going to happen in the future. I don't think any player's agent should have any kind of say, whether or not their client plays or not. I think that should be on the trainers, the medical staff, and the player and the coaches.
That's probably what bothered LaFleur so much, right?
Yeah.
So. Because they said, has he been cleared? And LaFleur said he nodded yes and said, we're working through that.
Right.
And that was like, okay. And then they asked Stenovich, when will you know when Jordan's going to play? And he said, he'll let us know. And it's like, what? Hold up a minute. What's going on here? So, again, we'll just leave it at that. I don't want it to turn into a huge talking point.
My money's on he's playing this Sunday. That's my money. We're gonna get Malik ready. Obviously he'll take reps with the ones in practice, but I think Jordan's playing. You got to think he's going to play here.
Yeah, definitely. On the Minnesota Vikings side, Jordan Addison, wide receiver, ankle injury was limited. Garrett Bradbury, center, ankle injury, did not participate. Jonathan Bullard, defensive lineman with the knee, limited participation. Sam Darnold, they scanned his knee. Everything came back good. He was full participation, so he's good to go. Gruger Hill, linebacker, knee injury, limited participation. Josh Oliver tied in with the wrist, limited participation. Ivan Pace, junior linebacker with an ankle, did not participate. Dallas Turner, outside linebacker, knee injury, limited. And then Jay Ward, safety with the knee injury, did not participate. So that's the update on the injury list there for the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, so that's where that sits. Now, let's talk real quick. We got a few minutes left. I want to start to dabble into the Minnesota Vikings and game planning for them, okay? And the reason I want to do this, we want to get better at doing this on the second half of the week when it's, we got a game coming up on Sunday. I thought we did an excellent job with the Titans game. We caught a lot of things that you can kind of see on the surface, just deep dive in some of their tendencies, things like that. When it comes to coverage rates so far this year, all right, focus on the Vikings here on this graphic. And here's what they're doing, gang. 26% of the time, they're playing cover 2, zone cover 2, okay? Keep in mind, this is Brian Flores. I rolled my eyes 2 years ago when everybody said, he ain't got the personnel to play all that man coverage. They're going to suck. And I'm going, you have no idea what a Bill Belichick assistant does with game planning and personnel. Cover 2, 26% of the time. Cover 4, 25% of the time. Cover 3, 14% of the time. So they're playing majority zone. They're in cover 6, 8% of the time. They're only in cover 1 man 8% of the time. They're in cover 2 man only 1% of the time. So they are a very, very, very heavy zone team. But here's the key coverage. They play cover 0 10% of the time. They will blitz everyone, including their own grandmother. Okay, they're going to be firing from all angles. Cover 0 is real simple. You're blitzing everyone who isn't in man coverage. It's that simple. Okay. Mm-hmm. They did that to us last year. Jordan burned them. Okay. But again, they have one of the best defenses in the league right now. Matt LaFleur was actually asked about this earlier today. And here's what he said about the Vikings and kind of their ability to blitz the quarterback, essentially.
8 sacks you guys had. The Vikings have 16 on the season. They're leading the league. How is Jordan's ability to move in and out of the pocket going to be even more important?
He'll finish in a minute. Give him a second.
Against a group like this.
Yeah, I mean, that's a concern. So we'll just, we got to do a great job in terms of our protection calls, making sure that we get body on a body, and then you got to go and actually block these guys, which isn't the easiest task to do either. So I think they got a lot of good rushers in there. I think they rush collectively as a unit, as one, as good as anybody. I mean, they're pick games that they're running. It causes a lot of carnage on the offensive line at times, and they've also done a great job. It shows up all over the tape, just getting free runners at the quarterback and sacking the quarterback.
So there you go. Obviously, it's on the forefront of their minds with the Vikings' ability to blitz the quarterback. And some of the stuff some of the key statistics I was going to pull up here. Actually, I'll go ahead and get that cranked up. We still got a few minutes. I wanted to talk about sacks and things like that as well. We talked about the coverage rates already, right? So let's dive into, since sacks is the big topic there, let's see if we can find it here. Let's go passing defense, and let's go sacks per game. Minnesota leads the league at 5.3 sacks per game. Now, you've seen Green Bay went off on Sunday in Tennessee, right? We're tied for fifth at 3.7 sacks per game. So Minnesota is on fire with their blitzes. Now, I get a little bit excited when other teams are looking to blitz you because it's going to open up a whole lot of opportunities for explosives. Now, they may come up and lean on that. Again, keep in mind, it's only 10% of the time, but it's still the most in the league, tied for the most in the league. Cover 4, cover 2, the thing that worries you there is they can disguise really, really well. A cover 4 pre-snap shell looks the same as a cover 2, and then it's all post-snap read. You know what I'm talking about, Emilio? You've got to read everything out after the ball's snapped.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think that, that's where Aaron Rodgers had problems, right? Put the shell over the top and make him work underneath. I think that's why we're going to keep leading. What are we, 60% rush so far as an offense? So I think we're going to keep leaning on that. I think Matt's going to keep, running the ball. Even if Jordan Love does come back, we have to. And I think then, you can get them moving around in their defense a little bit, catch them. We'll get a can when he sees a zero coming. And, you got to make him pay the wide receiver. It's going to be a 50-50 ball. They just got to go out and make plays.
They're meeting those run fits really well, too. Their run defense, they're third in the league at only 3.6 yards per carry allowed. So, and here's the other thing. Green Bay's run defense, 24th at 4.7 yards. So actually tied for 22nd at 4.7 yards per carry allowed. It's going to be a hell of a game, and I'm just telling you. I'd say the Packers will probably be 3-point favorites, maybe 2.5-point favorites because it's at Lambeau. But this is going to be a fun one to watch, man.
Oh, yeah.
And looking at one of the Viking stats, the opponent's pass play percentage they're just under 70% at 69.7. So 70% of the time the opponent's trying to throw the ball on them. I almost think that we have to force the run then. If it hasn't worked passing on them right now, unless we're going to be the ones to change that narrative.
Yeah, and they are 11th, actually tied for 10th in opponent yards per pass attempt. So their run defense ranks higher than their pass defense. But I know exactly what you're saying, man. You can really it's a recipe for explosive plays. There's no two ways about it. You just got to, like Matt LaFleur said, you got to execute. You got to get out there and make sure that you're doing everything properly. Let's see here, takeaways per game. From a turnover standpoint, Green Bay still leads the league at 3 turnovers per game. So that's on our side. Minnesota is tied for third at 2 turnovers per game. So that's kind of neck and neck, but Green Bay does have the advantage. So
look at how that's changed from last year, guys. Those turnovers we have, heck yeah.
Yeah, turnovers are huge, absolutely huge. That's what happens when you go out and spend money in free agency on a post safety and stop marching Darnell Savage out there too. So.
That's what happens when you put an emphasis on playing the ball and not defending blades of grass, right?
Exactly. So let's see. Passing defense we covered, total defense. Let's go to scoring. Scoring defense. Hit that real quick because that's where Minnesota, they really are, man. Points per play, leading the league at 0.152 points per play. Green Bay is 14th at 0.322. Now, when we go to the offensive side, you're thinking, okay, they just got a strong defense, right? They're pretty damn good on offense too. They're third in the league at 0.515 points per play. Green Bay is 7th at 0.408. So it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a good matchup. They're playing great ball. Now, I can't remember who all they played. Who all has Minnesota played? Does anybody have any idea who they've played up to this point and how strong those opponents may be? Any idea, Emilio?
That right now.
They played They played the Texans.
Yep.
Played the Texans on Sunday. I'm trying to think of who they played earlier. I feel like they played another pretty good team. Oh, they played the 49ers.
49ers.
Yep.
And they beat the Giants. Well, that doesn't count, but yeah, Texans and 49ers though, legit opponents right there that they beat.
Definitely. So early on, as we start to put together our game plan for the Vikings, again, they go cover zero more than anyone, right? They're basically tied for fourth in takeaways. They could take the ball away from you. They got a solid run defense, a better run defense than pass defense. What we're going to do now is start to look at on the offensive side of the ball. We'll do this tomorrow. Where are they running the ball to? Where's the pass chart going, right? All those things to see if we can create some tendencies in that regard. Because it kind of feels like, other than I think they hit on a 97-yard touchdown pass to Justin Jefferson there in week 1, other than that, it kind of felt like that last game against the Texans, they were kind of keeping the ball under 20 yards and just kind of moving the sticks.
Yeah.
So we'll dive into all that tomorrow for sure.
Man, looking at it, so including the preseason, their last 5 games, they haven't scored less than 23 points. Obviously, 2 of them are preseasons, and then they haven't given up more than 17, with only 2 of them being double-digit games. So I mean, they played the Eagles in the preseason week 3, 26-3, Browns 27-12 in preseason week 2. So I mean that they've been rolling for 2 months now. Yep. Right. It's not like it's just something that popped up. They haven't lost, and their defense hasn't given up 20 points since. I mean, it could have been last year. I didn't see preseason 1, but so they're rolling high right now.
The more I look at this matchup, the more I think it's going to come down to how our defensive line plays and how our offensive line plays. It's going to boil down to how we win in the trenches, offensively and defensively. You know, we talk about our linebackers. I'm confident in our secondary. The boys up front, offensively and defensively, are going to make the difference in this game against the Vikings. And another caveat, I won't do a score prediction, but I will tell you right now, in my gut right now, I believe this game's going to be decided by 10 points or less for sure.
Oh, no doubt, man. No doubt in my mind. And again, the 3 key statistics for me as we get ready to wrap up, as always, turnover differential, explosives, and middle 8. Those are the 3 things. Turnover differential, the Packers lead the league right now at plus 2.3. The Vikings are 6th at plus 0.7, so a pretty big difference there, even though they're just in the 6th spot. So the Packers have the edge there. As far as explosives, the Packers have the edge there. Now, when you look at all the other statistical categories, seems like Minnesota's got the edge for the most part. So it's going to be, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a dandy. I can't wait. It's going to be a great measuring stick for the Packers too, man. It really is. The only thing that sucks is if Jordan does play, is he going to be rusty? That's the question, right? And that's where you're weighing in the whole, if he's not 100% healthy, do you ride this hot hand with Malik and keep going there? But if he's 100% healthy, you put him out there, no questions asked. I'm just looking up going if he's 90%, 95%. I don't know.
I think that's a valid concern, right? You know, he hasn't played since Brazil. You know, there could be some rust. I have confidence in Jay Money that he could shake that rust off in a series or 2 and get back in rhythm. But the real question is, what about the rest of the team? What about that O-line? What about our tight ends? You know, you've been playing with Malik these last 2 weeks. There's a level of comfortability and repetitiveness that you've established and rapport. When you put QB1 back out there, does it throw things off? I think that's a valid concern for sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like the big thing, if you flip it over to their offensive line, they've got 2 of the best tackles in the league, but their guards aren't that great, if I remember correctly. And we'll dive into all that later in the week too. So, but all right, let's get ready to wrap this thing up, man. Anything else anybody else got before we get out of here?
I have a quick PSA for the public here.
Yeah.
Personal story, we're going to be in Green Bay this weekend, and I was trying to get tickets for the game.
Nice.
And Well, yeah, but got on Facebook and almost ended up getting scammed for $350 trying to take my exchange student to Uzbekistan. Thankfully, the last minute. Yeah, I know
Yeah, there you
exactly.
go.
That's
Put
what
that
I'm
up there.
saying.
There you go.
I'm saying, guys, use reputable things. So this, I mean, it even looked legit. It was going to be a Ticketmaster transfer, everything, but then at the last second, I just realized it was not, something was off. So if anyone has any, I did look on the Ticket King. Didn't find it within my price range, but I want to take my exchange student from Uzbekistan. So if anybody has any leads out there for some last minute tickets, but anyway, just stay away from some social media and Facebook Marketplace when trying to buy tickets.
You go to Facebook Marketplace and somebody offers you tickets and their profile looks like that.
Yeah,
Go the opposite direction.
even if their profile doesn't look like that, that's probably how they look. For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Might be catfishing too. Carly recognized the scam and threw one of those out. Like,
Yeah.
what do you think?
She gave him that Halfley look, like,
No, it's they're saying that this game here is possibly the matchup between the two best teams in the NFC. So, like, there's going to be a premium price tag on those tickets. Good weather at Lambeau, you know what I mean? Like, this is just
gold package game.
Yeah. So
shout out to the gold package, my Milwaukee family out there. We got 3 divisional games. I love it.
Yeah. All right. That being said, I'm not diving back into that conversation. Last year, I came out on crutches and a black eye after that week, man. That got hot in the kitchen. But it is what it is, man. I do know this, man. Those green packages, there was some tickets that snuck away from the Packer fans on that one too. So I don't think it's just the gold. So it's a good thing I don't live within driving distance of Lambeau, because I'm telling you, I would be homeless, broke, but I would be at every Packers game, no doubt about it. So, all right, let's see. Roscoe said, I got a single game ticket for $150 for the Colts game. There you go. So I bet they're going for twice that for the Vikings.
For the Colts game?
Right.
The Colts game that already happened?
Or is he saying that's what he got it for?
I thought he was saying that's what he
I got you. I
it.
was going to say,
Tim, you might be right too.
Talk about a scam right there. I got these tickets for a game that already happened.
Does this guy
Roscoe, get in touch with Carly after the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get in touch with Carly.
I'm not falling for it.
I'm assuming you're looking for 2 tickets, right, Carly?
Yeah, 2.
Okay.
Yeah, 2. Just 2.
Emilio in the private chat. You're off the rails. All right, I gotta hit you with it, Emilio.
Oh my gosh.
The flag. All right, we're out of here. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. If you would hit that like button on the way out. We'll see you guys and gals tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central. If the tornado rolls on through the holler here and I miss work tomorrow, we might go live during the day. So you may see a random broadcast during the day. If the creek was getting pretty high out here, though, boys, I didn't know whether to go catfishing or stack sandbags out there. You know what I'm saying?
I want to pick up some sandbags, Clay.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. But anyway, thank y'all so much. Tim, help me out here, man.
For those of you listening on the pod,
thank you for making us a part of your day. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world.
Sit your butt outside.
Go, Pat, go.